Good evening and welcome to the WDSU News Hot Seat. I'm Travers Mackle. Tonight, we continue our Commitment 2021 Hot Seat debates. We are focusing on all the big races in the city of New Orleans, including the city council races. We started with District A last week, and right now we are doing District B. District B is a large, diverse district covering several neighborhoods of the city like Uptown, Central City, and Downtown. The incumbent councilman is Jay Banks. He is seeking re-election. He is in his first term. He is a Democrat. He is with us here tonight. He drew 3 challengers at qualifying. Those challengers are, in alphabetical order, Democrat Leslie Harris, Independent Roz Thibodeau, and Democrat Rella Zaplatal. Thank you all for being here. We're going to start with a brief opening statement. Mr. Banks, we're going to do it alphabetically, and because you're the incumbent, you have 30 seconds to make a brief opening statement.
Well, thank you. My name is J.H. Banks, and I am asking for the support of the residents of District B for re-election. I offer common sense, straight talk, and real solutions to problems that we can get through. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to be serving and will work very hard to continue the service that we have provided. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in under time. It gives us more time for the media questions as well. Ms. Harris, you're up next. 30 seconds to make an opening statement.
Thank you, Travers. My name is Leslie Harris, and I'm running for District B because we deserve better. Violent crime is at its highest rate since the 1990s. Our streets are torn up for weeks or months without repair. Basic services like trash and water pickup are unreliable. I've heard the complaints from my friends, neighbors, and coworkers, and we all love New Orleans, but we simply deserve better. I'm the candidate who can make real, lasting, and sustainable change. I'm the candidate who will hold our contractors accountable. I have the tenacity to fight for increased resources for NOPD and to help our young people have resources for opportunities. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Thibodeau. You're up next. 30 seconds for a brief opening statement.
Hi, I'm Rosalind Reed Thibodeau. Everybody calls me Roz. I'm a licensed realtor here in the city. I am running as an independent for District B because I feel now more than ever what we really need is political diversity. We have tried it all the same for many, many years, and it's time to have something different. And if you agree with that, then I'm your best option, Roz Thibodeau.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Thibodeau. Ms. Zaplatal, you have 30 seconds as well to wrap up the opening statements here.
New Orleanians deserve safe neighborhoods, reliable infrastructure, basic city services, and a living wage. I'm Rella Zaplatal, and I'm running to bring new energy and new ideas to District B. But most importantly, I'm running to deliver real results. Our current leadership has put politics over people. That must change. I'm the most qualified candidate, the backgrounds in the criminal legal system and community advocacy. I have the experience and drive needed to bring change to all residents in District B. Remember number 44 on the ballot.
All right, let's get to the first question. It's a 1-minute answer here, Ms. Zaplatal. We start with you as we go in reverse order. A lot of COVID-19 mandates statewide and in the city of New Orleans. Those are impacting businesses, and we know that District B, covering Uptown, Magazine, and St. Charles Avenue, and all of downtown, there are plenty of businesses that have strong feelings about this. In 1 minute, do you support the mandates in place when it comes to proof of vaccination or negative testing? Once again, 60 seconds.
I support the mandates, but I do not think that the enforcement should be on the business owners. I think they are already going through a tough enough time as it is with COVID, with their decrease in people coming to their businesses, customers, consumers. We shouldn't put the onus on them to enforce these policies, but I do think that the mayor is following science, which is very important because this is a very serious situation that we are in, and we all must get vaccinated and mask up.
All right, Ms. Thibodeau, 1 minute, same question. How do you feel about the vaccine passports, if you will, for lack of a better term, in District B? You have 60 seconds.
Sure. So I am against any vaccine mandates across the board. One, because we don't know what we don't know. These vaccines are not yet FDA approved. We just don't know the effects. But secondly, I don't think that we should set a precedent to allow private business owners to ask for private information, especially medical records, from our citizens. That could open the door for these same business owners asking for other private information later on down the line. So right now, I think that a mandate is premature and I'm against it.
All right, same question, Ms. Harris, 60 seconds. What are your thoughts, given the fact that there are so many businesses in District B?
So first of all, I do believe in vaccines. Vaccines work and they have proven to be safe and effective. So I would encourage everyone out there to go get vaccinated as soon as possible if you haven't already. I think that given the current surge in the Delta variant, that we must have processes in place like masking mandates and vaccination passports ready to go. And I think that the businesses are instituting them and implementing them in a way that makes sense. And I think we have to do that right now to protect our people.
Councilman Banks, final person for this question, 60 seconds. What are your thoughts on the vaccination mandates in the city of New Orleans?
Since the beginning of this pandemic, I've been in the forefront of trying to help our citizens get through it. I've hosted dozens of food drives, mass giveaways, vaccine events, trying to give our citizens the resources that they need to get through this. I am 100% in support of the mandate. The vaccine has been proven to be effective. There have been millions of people to die around the world from COVID-19, but not one died from a vaccine. I absolutely support and would hope that more people would get vaccinated so that we can get past this and get back to life as we knew it in New Orleans. This thing is killing us economy-wise and social-wise, and all that needs to be done to help us get through it, I think needs to be done.
All right, we're going to start this question with you, Ms. Harris. Our station has done a lot of stories on Plaza Tower. It's crumbling. It shut down city streets for a very long time, more than a month. It's in District B. In 30 seconds, what is your real action plan for Plaza Tower if you're elected?
Yeah, that thing is an eyesore and it has been for years. It's literally raining down marble on people. It's very unsafe. We have to hold the owners of Plaza Tower accountable. The city shouldn't have to pay for putting up netting or putting barriers up around it. We really need to hold owners responsible for crumbling buildings like Plaza Tower.
All right, Ms. Thibodeau, 30 seconds. What is your plan if elected for Plaza Tower?
So I agree with Ms. Harris. The owners need to be held accountable. This is an eyesore. It needs to be safely demolished and something else needs to be put on that site. It has been an eyesore for years. There's no reason for it to have dragged on this long.
All right, Ms. Apatow, same question, 30 seconds. Plaza Tower, we all know what it looks like. In 30 seconds, what is your plan if elected?
We must hold the owners accountable, like the other lovely ladies have said here. But that also means that we have to invest in safety and permits and enforcement, because if we aren't investing in enforcement in our city, then no one's going to do what they're supposed to do. So definitely hold the owners accountable.
And finally, in 30 seconds, Councilman Banks, what is your plan for Plaza Tower if you are reelected by the people?
The owners will be held accountable for the costs associated with those street closures and the inconvenience that they cause. I'd love to see that building put into an affordable housing position. It's got abatement that needs to happen in terms of asbestos, but holding the owner accountable is absolutely going to happen.
All right, we're going to start this question with you, Ms. Thibodeau. It's a quick one here. We asked the District A candidates to give a letter grade to Mayor LaToya Cantrell, but given the fact that we already asked that question to a different district, let's go with the President of the United States, Joe Biden, on his COVID response and the package that he has in place right now that we are dealing with in Louisiana. A, B, C, D, or F, give a letter grade to President Joe Biden on his COVID response.
Ooh, on COVID response, I'm going to have to give him a C, simply because I can't fairly fail him because I am not a privy to all of the information that he's a privy to. So I can't, fairly give him an F without knowing what's driving him. But I also can't give him a passing grade because the facts are so tainted. There is so much misinformation, and I do believe that his administration can do a much better job at getting us the real facts in real time.
All right, thank you. Let's go with you, Ms. Apatow. Really quickly, give a letter grade to the president on his COVID response so far.
I would give him a B. I think he has done a lot for the city as it relates to sending federal dollars, but we still haven't received all of our rental assistance dollars and other things of that nature. So a B because he is sending us money, but they need to move it a little bit faster.
All right, Councilman Banks, letter grade for the president really quickly here on his COVID response.
A B+. They have been very active in getting vaccinations out around this country. However, we do need additional funding and resources that needs to come to help us continue to prop up our sagging economy and to get help to people that need it. We've got landlords that are suffering because we had a rental moratorium, but at the end of the day, we've got to get more money on the street to be able to sustain these people that have been hurt by this pandemic.
All right, Ms. Harris, finally, really quickly here, if you can, letter grade for the president on COVID response.
Sure, I would give him a B, and I'll tell you why. I think we need more testing sites now around the city, given the Delta variant. And I think we need to fund the Restaurant Recovery Act and the Closed Venue Act. A lot of people haven't gotten that money and they need it.
All right, let's start this one off with you, Ms. Zaplatal. I believe we're at the end, before we're going to start. Yes, with you. So let's start with crime here. In 1 minute, crime is plaguing the city of New Orleans, especially District B. Car thefts, armed robberies, auto break-ins. In 60 seconds, what is your plan for police if elected to District B? You have 60 seconds.
My plan is to get more officers on the streets to solve violent crimes. How do we do that? We create a mental health unit that responds to mental health crises instead of officers. Train mental health professionals so that we can take those officers who are not responding to those mental health emergencies and reassign them. We also need to work with the Civil Service Commission to increase the class size so we have more officers coming in to replace the officers who are retiring and leaving because of attrition. But my number one goal would be to increase the number of officers on the street so we can solve the violent crimes in our city.
All right, Councilman Banks, 1 minute. What is your plan if reelected for violent crime that's been plaguing the city and parts of District B?
We've got to better utilize our police resources, and we have been intentional in trying to decriminalize petty offenses so that police officers don't have to be utilized on dealing with non-life-threatening issues. Our police need to be able to focus on violent criminals who are going to hurt people. Now, the CAHOOTS program, which is going to help deal with mental patients, the decriminalization of petty offenses, all of those things will take commissioned uniform officers away from dealing with things that are not life-threatening and allow them to focus on the really bad guys that we need to deal with. I'm going to continue those processes to keep that going.
All right, Ms. Harris, 60 seconds. What is your plan if elected to work to combat violent crime in District B?
I've spoken to a police captain, and what she's telling me is that NOPD needs more resources. The American Recovery Program, the federal government is funding, allows us to get guns off the street, and will give the city funding to get guns off the street, and that can go to prevent violent crime. Baton Rouge has a pilot program in place right now as we speak to get guns off the street and to help with diversion programs. We need to ask the federal government to be on the list to get the funding so that we can get illegal guns off the street and give our young people opportunities and use federal dollars to do it.
All right, Ms. Thibodeau, you wrap up this question. 60 seconds. What is your plan if elected to combat violent crime in District B?
So first and foremost, like many of my fellow candidates, I do agree that we need to beef up police. We need more police activity, more money for the police, more police officers in general. But it is also my understanding that a large portion of this crime is being committed by juveniles. And on that side of things, we really need to have more responsibility and accountability for these juveniles, and in some cases, even these juveniles' parents. We've got to have stricter consequences. This will help teach juveniles that there are, in fact, consequences to your actions and you're making choices. I think we could have businesses, offer businesses incentives to hire at-risk children. And most importantly, we have got to address the opioid problem in our city because that is leading to a lot of our violent crime.
All right, we're coming back to you, Councilman Banks, to start a new question here. In 30 seconds, and we're going to hold you to about 30 seconds, right? Because we want to get some more questions in. Outdoor music venues have become a big talker in District B. In 30 seconds, what is your plan for the outdoor music permitting process if you're reelected?
We're working on the ordinance now. We've got two conflicting pieces of legislation between the noise ordinance and the outdoor ordinance. Those two pieces of legislation have to be meshed together so that they don't conflict. And that is what we're in process of working on right now, so that we can get New Orleans businesses back to where they need to be, but also have them live in conjunction with the neighborhoods that they're in.
All right, Ms. Harris, same question. If elected, what would you do? What is your plan for outdoor music venues and the permitting process, which many find to be difficult?
I think we need to make the permitting process not arbitrary. I've spoken to the owner of Zoni Mash, and he literally was denied a permit for no reason whatsoever that he could figure out. That neighborhood is surrounded by other businesses. There are not many residents, and he actually had the consent of the residents around him. So I think we need to make sure that the process is streamlined, transparent, and that it makes sense.
All right, Ms. Thibodeau, same question. If elected, what is your plan for outdoor music venues in the permitting process in 30 seconds?
So as far as permitting, I think we definitely need to streamline and repair and renovate our permitting process. For outdoor music venues, I think that those are a wonderful addition to our city, but we also want to preserve our neighborhoods. So we want to make sure that the permitting does not allow any outdoor music venue in a primarily residential area or where it would be disruptive to a residential area, because the preservation of our communities and our neighborhoods is also very important.
And Ms. Zapletal, same question, 30 seconds about outdoor music venues.
It definitely does need to be a streamlined process that doesn't allow political influence as to who can and can't have permits, which is what happened with Zoni Mash. I had my launch party there and I've talked to Adam at length. They are being targeted, which is a very serious issue in this city, and it shouldn't be allowed. The council members shouldn't be able to use their office to make certain businesses' lives harder. I would advocate for a very streamlined, no nonsense process.
We're going to get to closing statements really quickly here, but Ms. Harris, this question is for you. It's really just, if you can, a phrase, answer this one. If elected, what is the number one thing the federal money for infrastructure repair needs to go to? Really just in a phrase, because we have to do this in about 5 seconds.
Sure, it needs to repair our streets immediately.
All right, Ms. Thibodeau, federal infrastructure money in a phrase, what needs to be repaired most in District B?
I think we need to go with porous asphalt and irrigation. The technology is there.
All right, Ms. Zapletal, you have the same question, just really quickly in a phrase, federal infrastructure money, what's the number one thing in your opinion?
Potholes.
All right, there you go in a phrase. Councilman Banks, federal infrastructure money, what's the number one thing?
And water, but infrastructure, streets to enhance quality of life for our residents.
All right, I wish we had more time. We are unfortunately running out of time. And we do want to give you all a chance to make a final closing statement to sell yourself to the voters for the October 9th election date. We're going to go in reverse order. Councilman Banks, we started with you. So this time, Ms. Zapletal, we start with you. You have 30 seconds to make a closing statement.
I'm a mom, child advocate, and neighborhood leader. I have lived in District B since moving to New Orleans in 2008, right after college, and couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I am running for city council because District B needs real results and real change. We need and deserve better. Our current council member has put politics over people. I'm running so that residents are the priority. I am the most qualified candidate out here. I have experience in criminal legal system and community advocacy. A vote for Rella Z for District B is a vote for accessibility, accountability, and real change for the residents.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Thibodeau, you have 30 seconds to make a closing statement.
Sure. So voting for me means more than anything, I am relatable. I can relate to almost everybody in my district because I either was you or I am you. I am now an educated business owner, property owner, mother, wife, but I have been a single mom. I've been reliant on government assistance. I've wondered how I was going to pay my bills. I've had to bring my child to college with me because I had no child care. So I can relate to just about everybody in the district, either where they are, where they were, because I was there or I am there. And I think that's huge. We need relatability and accessibility. So that's why a vote for me would be the thing to do if you agree.
All right, Ms. Harris, you have 30 seconds to make a closing statement.
Thanks, Travers. Listen, everyone in New Orleans in District B deserves the same. A city where you're safe and aren't scared to walk at night, a city that provides reliable essential services like water and trash pickup, a city where streets aren't torn up and left for months without any communication, follow-up about status. And we deserve better. We deserve a council person who's not afraid to work across political families to get the job done. We need a council person who will work with everyone to ask for increased funding for violent crime prevention and resources. I'm that person. I'm that candidate. Leslie Harris, number 41. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilman Banks, you're the incumbent. You get to close it out. You have 30 seconds to let people know why you should be reelected.
District B is the most diverse district in this city. It runs from the gamut, from the very wealthy in the Garden District to those not so wealthy in Gertown. The council member of this district has to be someone that can relate to all of those demographics and relate to them successfully. I have a proven track record of doing just that. Everything from sitting in boardrooms to providing food services to having pandemic responses that touched our people where they live. I bring experience, I bring commitment. I am open, accessible, and the one thing you always get from me is straight talk. I do not have mixed messages where I'm going to tell one group one thing and tell another group another thing. You will always get straight talk from me.
All right. Councilman Jay Banks, Leslie Harris, Roz Thibodeau, and Rella Zaplatow, we appreciate your time. This is the District B Hot Seat Debate. You can watch this entire debate online on WDSU.com tomorrow. And coming up next Sunday, all candidates from the District C